Oh yeah, what was I looking at? Oh, this one. Let me update my spreadsheet of bullshit.
Morning, welcome back.
I love this guy. Edvasian. Yes, the spreadsheet of X, yes. Good afternoon! Saturday afternoon, goon. I don't know how to tell you this. It is Sunday, not Saturday. Alright, let's watch it. Someone recommended this. Edvasian, famous for bed rotting. I've seen these on TikTok. Like, really random. So, like, how do you make a VTuber model and use it? Use Google. I know chat looks like it's a Google prompt search, but you can type it in Google. And there's like millions and millions of results. It's crazy. It's like a little program. You can make your own little VTuber model. Have you ever watched Dungeon Soup? Nope. Nope. Don't care, didn't ask. Plus you're smelly. La 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 la. How to mute the annoying fox on stream? Press the little X button. Alright, let's watch it. I want to see the maxing. Hey Google, how to make hot VTuber wife model? I don't know how to answer that. Skill issue. Alright, I'm ready. Let's watch. The rise of Asian garbage house influencers. It's funny, I saw a TikTok of Japanese companies cleaning out really nasty Japanese tiny little homes where people moved out of. So let's watch it together. I can't wait. Maybe we'll see an Asmonbald reference too.
Morning, welcome back.
Hey!
Oh, I'm tired. You ever want to lay down all day while consuming as much entertainment as possible so you can distract
Yes. Yes, when I was really depressed, that's all I wanted to do.
yourself from life? Like some sort of weird human baby? Or a human turned into a worm. It's way easier to do nothing compared to dealing with all your grown-up responsibilities. No one told me about taxes, bills every month, the tedious task of thinking of what to eat every single day for the rest of my life. Sheesh.
Oh my gosh. That was like actually kind of one of the worst things ever for me when I was growing up. When I finally moved out of my parents' house, I'm like, wait, so nobody just feeds me? I have to make food myself, man. This is so much work. Pizza rolls? Nah, I never ordered out. I was too broke for that. I just make my own food. But still.
Had the guy just be a baby again? Unfortunately, that's not a possibility for the majority of us until we can figure out how to Benjamin Button ourselves. So the next best thing is bed rotting, eh? We're told that if we embrace hustle culture, work really hard, then we can achieve our dreams. The amount of
I mean, yes and no. You working really hard at your corporate 9 to 5 is probably not gonna... It's probably not gonna result in, in you getting a raise. That's why it sucks.
effort you put into your career, the more well off you'll be during retirement age. Your future is created by...
Wait, this bitch has read, book, and meditate at 5:30 for half an hour? She has time for that?
what you do today, said the president of some country. So why me have graduate degree, but work as barista with no house or car?
No, this is Patrick.
Well, that's kind of the reality
Because you picked underwater basket weaving, that's why.
we live in now. The American dream has literally turned into something you can only see when you're dreaming. No matter how many hours you put into your career, how much you invest into your education, which ends up being a piece of paper and bank account jump scare, unless you're born wealthy or with a little bit of nepotism on your side, life's just one long slugfest of working until you're old and then...
Or starting your own business. Starting your own business is one of the most difficult things imaginable. Like a restaurant or a bakery or a shop or an online shop. It is a really, really hard thing to do. Especially nowadays. The rewards can be absolutely monumental, but it's true. Have you tried it? Yeah, no shit, I stream. Like, what? What the fuck do you mean? Have you tried it? Yes, this is my business. Like, what? Yeah, obviously, yes, I have done it. It's hard, but it's not hard like a 9 to 5. I used to work in a cubicle job. I did it at the same time. It was quite difficult.
That's kind of soul crushing. So taking the entire day off from time to time to rest and not think about 1,000 things at once helps us avoid burning out. The best feeling is working really hard, then taking 1 to 2 days off with your brain turned off to do nothing. Although bed rotting is a trendy activity we've been seeing that goes further than a day of self-care.
Well, that's the thing though. They overwork you and then you have 2 days off on Saturday and Sunday and then you have no time for yourself. You're like doing grocery shopping, you're going to the bank, you know, like you're taking care of business and then you have no time to yourself. So you just like really just want to lay down and die. That's the real problem.
You're in your room, laying in bed all day, except you're not sleeping, but doing passive activities to avoid life, like scrolling on your phone, watching movies, counting the pores on the ceiling. Think of it as stress-inducing procrastination, where instead of relaxing at a spa, you're closing your eyes so you don't notice that the building is actually on fire.
Another really big issue with this is that with a 9 to 5 and with rigid work hours, do you guys ever experience this? For example, you work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then you get off on Sunday, you start counting how many hours you have until the next workday. Yeah, I hated that. I hated that when I worked, and I hated it because you're like, okay, I only have 12 hours left. Okay, I only have 11 hours left. You only have 8 hours left. Okay, if I sleep for another half an hour, then I have another 6.5 hours left. It's like, it sucks, man. Yeah, I have 6 hours, including my sleep. If I fall asleep in 30 minutes, then I'll be awake and I'll be okay, you know? You're dreading Mondays or dreading the next day. And even if it's not a Monday or a Sunday or whatever, any day after that, you start thinking and calculating like, okay, I have 2 hours and I work out for an hour. I have an hour until bedtime. What do I do for an hour? Okay, I'm going to lay in bed and think about how I have an hour left of my free time. It's super bad.
You can find a lot of content from Gen Z and millennials sharing their bed rotting experiences, either for clout and views since it's trendy to do so, or to connect with others who are going through something similar. There's been a shift in the public sentiment.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, what was that?
From this being a quirky activity to this isn't good. It depends on the severity. A little bit of bed rotting can just be someone taking time off, but extreme levels can be linked with someone who's mentally unwell, especially when you see rooms that don't have floors anymore.
It's the Asmongold Wendy's chili!
Because it's covered with so much junk, and the bowls and dishes with old food in them started making their own clothes to wear.
Bed rotting is a trend where
that is so nasty. Look, I'm not gonna deny it, but like I still cleaned my room and shit, man. I never had crap on the floor. I never had old drinks. I played WoW for 16 hours a day, but at least like I cleaned and did stuff in between and like fed myself and like washed and like brushed my teeth.
you just kind of enjoy the time that you have in your bed.
You can see this person right here on TikTok who made a video about their trend. They have cups laying around their room just filled with mold because they're just bed rotting. All of
I never had that. I had a lot of coffee cups because I would bring them to like, you know, I would be too lazy to bring them back to the kitchen, but it would only take like a day or two.
These cups,
for me to bring them back.
Containers, all of this stuff has just been piling up because all they do is lay in their bed all day.
I know we shouldn't eat mold, but why it look like I kind of want to eat it? We shouldn't be glamorizing this behavior, but focus on curbing it instead by sharing tips or showing our progress when we finally decide to clean our rooms.
Here's what you're gonna do if you've already rotted half the day away and you kind of regret it.
So that was a little taste of bed rotting in the West.
Regret bed rotting, that's strong.
Now in Asia, this isn't just a concerning phase anymore. A few cups with moldy drink in them is nothing compared to the DIY hill you made in your own home out of trash.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've seen these. This has been on my TikTok. These are crazy. Their places get so dirty that the bottom starts rotting.
I like sledding on a fluffy white hill as much as the next person, but this seems like a biohazard. There are 2 content creators from Japan that kept popping up on my timeline who have quite the interesting following. The first one is Haritsu, an Indonesian college dropout living in Japan, who's known for cooking food that is well beyond its
Oh my god. Oh, thank god I haven't eaten anything. Chat, look away if you get nauseous at this shit. This is actually not nauseating.
expiration date, eating it, and somehow surviving. And we're not talking about a yogurt that's a few days past its best before date. I saw this man take Resident Evil looking rice from underneath the sink, give it a bath, then make it into a somewhat decent looking dish.
Dude.
You would have never known how old and how unrefrigerated his
No, you could tell, man. You take one bite and you'd actually puke your brains out.
ingredients were. This is a health inspector's nightmare. If they went inside his house, they would cry, fail him, and then shut down the kitchen. This isn't even a restaurant. At least he's not wasteful. The second creator is Shiro Kumatian Daisuki 1999, who's infamous for living in a home covered in trash while sharing the small space with a lot of roommates.
I'm sorry, but this is a mental illness. I'm sure they're a really nice person, but like a lot of people who have mental illnesses are nice people, but like you need help, man.
Sure, times are tough and we gotta do what we gotta do, but it's
There are so many smart and like beautiful or like handsome people who have mental illnesses and they're smart and I need a nice mentally ill girl. You're not gonna fix her. You have to drag her therapy or make herself drag herself to therapy. You can't change the shit. Yeah.
like more than a reasonable amount of people. Between all of them, there's at least 1,000 legs, 1,000 arms, bugs. Her roommates are bugs.
マジで無理なんだけど。
Oh, it's a little roach. How adorable. I love roaches. No, I'm kidding. I fucking hate roaches. The only roach I like is Matara.
大きすぎ、でかすぎ、やばすぎ共和国。大きすぎ共和国、でかすぎ共和国、やばすぎ共和国。
Damn, if all these uninvited guests showed up in my home, I would have to put on a full production of Stomp, or at least a K-pop fan cam from Inkigayo. No fear of cockroaches is actually a pretty impressive skill to have. Japan has this lady, we have Asmongold, who's reacted
Let's go! Roach out!
to some of my videos. I kind of feel like that roach that was in his house.
Get him out of me. What are you doing, bro?
Dude, he just grabs him!
Get out of my...
But wow, those
Get out of my stream! Matarakano saying hi. She was saying hello, Aspen. How's it going?
moldy cups are basically a cute little garnish compared to living with 5,000 freeloading roommates that don't pay rent. At least they don't take up a lot of room because they sleep on the walls. That being said, I'm not 100% sure if this content is made by people who are actually going through something or if it's manufactured for engagement and views. We'll look into how all these topics tie in with each other. Why is this letting your living space turn into a landfill phenomenon so much more severe in Asia? Well, let's talk about their work culture and how intense it can be compared.
Oh yeah, they have a way worse work culture. Guys, if you think corporate America is bad, Asia is 100 times worse. If not 100, at least like 50% worse.
To our silly little corporate errands and elite employee bosses. In China, the belief is that the heart
You can't be condescending. You have to smile all the time. You have to put on appearances. It sucks. It is very, 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 very bad. That's why their birth rates are plummeting as well. It's a big contributing factor.
harder you work, the more will pay off. You put in 40 years of working really hard, and the fruits of your labor should show that, which was true many decades ago when the economy was thriving. There wasn't as much competition in the market. You could buy home, car, purse, family, working the same job for your entire life. Now, you'd be lucky to even afford one of these things. The 996 culture became a normal way of living, where you work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Putting in your 40 hours a week is child's play compared to this. You're expected to
And there's people who complain in America. They're like, my 9 to 5 fucking blows. And I'm like, I mean, you could have it worse. Like, I know, it sucks. Let's be real. 9 to 5 fucking blows. Wages, I'm sorry. I know, I was one of you. I am very blessed. But I do know how it feels. It sucks so much cock. Like the biggest fucking cock you've ever seen. It sucks, but the Asian work culture 996 is 100 times worse.
to live this way if you want to be successful. If you don't want to conform though, that's totally fine. Someone else that's younger and less tired will take your place in a heartbeat. The Asian workforce is so competitive. Companies even encourage their employees to reveal their punch-in hours like a badge of honor. Whoever is the most overworked gets the praise. If you're working the minimum amount of hours required while having a healthy work-life balance, boo!
Imagine someone doing this in America. You'd get sued. Oh, there's ads. Oh, we ran it. Wait, you guys didn't snooze it. No, we could have snoozed it. Making plans for my own company so I at least work for something I'm interested in. Yo, good for you, King. Nah, man. Я так работал после школы, потому что не знал лучше. Yes, that's another thing. That's a really good point. Russian chatter says, I worked like this because I didn't know any better. There's no education and it's just expected of you most of the time to work like this. Yo, Belly, thank you for the prime. Thank you. It's absolutely heinous what they do to people. What are you talking about, Smuggle Island? There's plenty of Americans that brag about their 80-hour work weeks. No. You're wrong. This is not bragging about... You completely misunderstood me. And you misunderstood the video. I will explain again. This is your social media, your boss asking you for having the most amount of hours and them giving you praise. Not a raise, not anything, not overtime. It's expected of you, man. I've never heard of that kind of thing, even in the worst, like, corpo, borpo, whatever. They just kind of expect it of you. They don't, like, harass you and ask you about that shit. My mom is the only person who pushes me to work longer. Oh yeah, boomers are like that, but definitely millennials, Gen Z, and even some Gen X do not like this work culture. I think there's a massive shift. When I was in the Navy after preparing for deployment, we would work from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It was awesome. I'm gonna say it, there's a lot of jobs that are just paper pusher jobs. I had this experience dealing with one of my property managers, which is like the in-between. Which is like the in-between between the landlord and myself. And those motherfuckers are worthless. I would write an email at 9 a.m. on the dot, 6 minutes after they replied to me, and they wouldn't get back to me until the next day. I went into their office and there was like 3 women sitting at a desk doing fuck all. They're just like, and I'm just like, oh, this is what you're doing. Instead of replying to my email, you're doing nothing. Like, just answer my fucking email. I'm a fucking customer, man. Is streaming a good idea to avoid long hours? Guys, don't become a streamer. It's really hard and you have to get really lucky. You have to be truly blessed by a community that you work really hard for. It's not like easy, man. I worked a fucking part-time fucking corpo borpo sit-at-home job and I streamed 6 hours, 6 days a week. How about streaming as a hobby? I mean, you can do that. It's just gonna be a hobby. Don't expect to get paid like full-time money if you're gonna stream as a hobby. Having a smoking hot model doesn't hurt. I mean, it really depends if you're entertaining. Same for music. Well, yeah, exactly. You can have hobbies and you can have music as a hobby, but it's not like, you know, you shouldn't expect full time. Like, for example, I worked. How much money did I make in a month? At my first job, I made like 600 American a month. I think. Or is it 650? I don't know. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't expect that kind of money doing hobby streaming. Did you start your streaming career expecting it to be a hobby? Were you trying to get a full-time job? Oh, I was expecting to transition into full-time, like, streaming. That's full-time? Yes. It was after taxes. I should clarify, chat. It's after taxes, but it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm. This was a while ago, and I was working for minimum wage. SoundCloud rapper, I will make it. What about part-time streaming? Chat, I'm just gonna say it. It's really tough. Alright. I think ads are over. No? Yeah, they are. It's hard, chat. It's hard. You need a hella luck to make it your full-time job. You have to have hella luck, hella commitment, hella hard work, putting in every fucking day, even when no one shows up to your stream. Chat, I started off with fucking 2 viewers, and one of them was my fucking friend who turned it on and then went to work. Yeah. And I was, oh, and his wife as well. Yes. Consistency and the hard work, man. Consistency and hard work. What about part-time streaming? I just explained. Part-time streaming is the same deal. You shouldn't expect full-time money from a part-time stream. Anyway, let's keep watching the video. La la la. Alright, 3, 2, 1, boom!
Oh, putting in overtime here. What are you doing? This expectation that you need to dedicate your entire life to work for a mediocre life is causing younger generations to realize, bruh, this sucks. It's like watching the—
And you can't afford to buy a house in this economy as well. When there were milkmen in the 1950s who would make like basically bottom of the barrel minimum wage with 3 kids and a wife, and they could support them and afford a house. It wouldn't be an amazing house, sure. Like, I'm not saying they would have like a McMansion, but you know, a little fucking house in a town.
starry-eyed graduate who's excited to join the workforce turn into the bitter, jaded employee who's ready to retire in the span of 5 years instead of 50 years. You know what you get after working 50 years for a company nowadays? An email.
50 years. 7-Eleven. See, yeah.
Oh my god. Hold on. I have an anecdotal story. I went to a McDonald's like 10 years ago, and you know those signs that they put up underneath the McDonald's logo and they change it like once a week or something? I sat down and it was in my field of view, and I was like unpacking my burger, and I remember this to this day. This was 10 years ago, and I was like eating my little fucking like little cheeseburger, and there was it had a sentence spelled out on the sign, and it said, "Congratulations, Bruce, on your 20 years of McDonald's." And I thought to myself, they put a sign out for you, but they actually do anything for you? Are you like a regional manager now, or are you just a worker that's been there for 20 years? No joke, 20 years at McDonald's is so fucked. That's fucking cooked, man. This is so fucking strong. Congratulations on your 50-year anniversary. You get nothing. Wow.
In 2022, a term called bailan started trending in Chinese online gaming communities, which translates to laying flat and lowering one's goals. Basically saying, no thanks, I think I'll pass on this crazy work lifestyle. There's a lot of talented, hardworking people out there who want to make their career the main focus of their lives. But not everyone has to live like that, right? What's the point in working so hard if we're gonna stress ourselves out until we develop health issues? We're still gonna be scraping the bottom of the barrel while the rich get even richer. So doing just
and you get fired and the executives get to have $80,000 bonuses. Chat, we are not so different from, the East after all. Everybody always says, oh, it's NA versus EU, it's, NA versus Asia, blah, blah, blah. We're all getting fucked, chat. EU still has executives at Poopy Soft that get paid thousands and thousands and thousands more dollars than the average little worker. It's everywhere, man.
Enough to get by might be a better option for some, and there's less risk of getting burnt out. Basically, keep your expectations low for everything you do in life. Japan also has a similar working culture. It's based on intense commitment, ethics, and extreme dedication to the company.
Oh my god, man. They're all just sleeping, man. Look, this lady has like a little hat oh, it's a scarf. It's a scarf. She's a little banky. Man!
Company you're working for. If you're just starting out in the workforce, they have a strict hierarchy system you need to follow. If the boss says, put on a furry suit and start serving your country, then you better start learning.
They have furries in Asia. Let's go. It's Phillian!
That K-pop choreo ASAP. Also, I think I'm going through a phase right now. There have been one too many furry references in my videos recently. You also need to show that you're a team player by drinking with your coworkers every night. How does that show you're a team player? Well, it's all about tradition and conformity. If you're the only one who goes home, boo! And forget about sleep, you might be able to sneak in a quick nap on the subway ride home before you need to show up for your next shift, but
I read a statistic that the reason why mobile games are so popular in China and Japan is because even though people have money for a computer and the space for it, they can't justify having to play games on a PC because they want to play games when they're riding in the train for like an hour or whatever. Sometimes you can have like a 2-hour commute on the train and you just want to play your little video game. Yeah.
Hey, that's the culture. Did I also mention Japan has the highest levels of working hours in the world, where employees can average 80 hours of unpaid overtime per month? The anime Zom
unpaid, by the way, chat. Unfucking paid.
100 does a really great job at showcasing this lifestyle in their first episode. All this pressure from work, school, and family to fit into your expected societal role, you can see why this bleak overview of the future is causing younger generations to be discouraged, which has given rise to people adopting a neat lifestyle. Not as in a clean person, but as a not in education, employment, or training person. There's no long-term goals here, just surviving through each day by doing the bare minimum. As long as you have food, housing, and entertainment, then you're solid. A more intense form of the neat lifestyle is a hikikomori, which is a Japanese word that translates to pulling inward, being confined. This is where you withdraw yourself from society, where you basically never leave your home. Described as
in anime, it's so fucking prevalent. It's hilarious. How ironic.
Loners are modern-day hermits. It usually consists of people in their 20s to late 30s who are still living with their parents and rely on their support.
In Japan, there's said to be at least 500,000 hikikomori. It's thought that the numbers could be double.
500,000? Wait, what? What's the population of Japan? 125 million in 2022. Damn, bro. That's a lot.
That because so many of them go uncounted. Most are man 15 to 39. Some experts believe that it's a condition caused by traumatic experiences or shame or grief.
Could the pressures of age—
Oh, there's another thing too. If you have a mental illness in Japan or in most Asian countries, you're basically like an outcast from society. Your family will like not disown you, but they'll basically kind of throw you to the wayside. It's really, really sad. Really, really sad. They like throw them, like they'll throw them in a house and basically like forget about them. And then they're just like festering instead of helping them.
Asian societies be the root cause of these content creators posting their strange lifestyles online? Maybe that's just a theory, a moldy rice cooker theory. Speaking of food that would definitely shave off years of a regular person.
You're an outcast in any society? No, man, look at Twitter. That is such cope. The West has embraced mental illness, very much so. We have a very big mental health crisis, but we are absolutely just letting people run rampant online and let them be, you know, schizos. I disagree. No, not any society.
Life. Either this guy has the strongest immune system in the world, or the soap he uses to wash his food can eliminate every single disease on the planet. He's known for taking rice that's half food, half a living organism, and turning it back to normal by giving it a bath.
By the way, the Japan mental health thing is a myth. It is definitely available. There's just a stigma, which is true for most countries. I never said they don't have it. I said that there's a massive fucking stigma with families and they'd rather not have that attached to their family, and you're being a dishonorable piece of shit for getting help. Get it? In America, it's kind of like the opposite. Like, you have people with mental illnesses, and our mental health responses are not good enough. Yeah. And also people will be like, oh, well, you are labeled as mentally ill. Well, I'm labeled as mentally ill as well. And also I have more mental illnesses than you. So therefore, it's like a hierarchy. In Asia, honor with family is way more important than in the West. 100%.
ふわふわ。なんかいつもと違うパターンだなこれ。何これ？普通にこのまま食えそう。わあ。綺麗綺麗ですね。
Dude, I'm so happy he's blurring this.
Mm. なんかこれでもうまそう。
And you're telling me this isn't mental illness, man.
Other than committing multiple health code violations, he's a pretty decent cook. It's no Michelin star.
I mean... Is cooked well can't be that bad? I don't know, man.
Meal, but watching him turn expired food into a edible-ish... I was curious after watching so many of his TikToks. Can you actually wash away mold from your food, eat it, and not get sick? Sources...
No, because it's like... It's like cheese. Like, if there's mold on your cheese, it's already inside of the food. Yeah, you can't cut it away. Like, you can eat a little bit and you're not gonna die, but like the whole thing, like a whole fungus-ridden of fucking food? Nah.
Say, it depends, but usually, no! What's even more interesting is that he's never gotten sick from doing this. Do you ever get sick? I never get sick. Even I find it hard to-
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You'd have to like install security cameras. I bet you they developed an immunity.
Believe that I've never even had diarrhea because of the food I eat. Especially
I don't believe that. He's lying.
During my first year on TikTok. I was not that popular, so all I could afford to eat was the rotten food. But yeah, I think I am freakishly healthier than normal people. Or maybe I'm just used to it by now.
No, he probably got really, really sick at the start and then he developed an immunity. No, you have to like get sick at the start. There's no way.
Damn. I should have eaten more dirt when I was a kid. He microdosed himself on so much bacteria that he's turned into a walking cold effects pill. Look at him, not believing in storage containers, utensils, and proper cooking services.
What is that? What is that? What the fuck? Is that chicken?
Yeah.
What is that? Oh my god, what is that?
完璧。
Oh my god, it's dough. Oh my god, it's dough. He's gonna make dumplings. I'm actually gonna be sick.
よし。これ一旦どかしましょう。
Oop. Just a little seasoning from the bed for some flavor. I know the
Yeah, it's got his toe cheese and his dick cheese. Ew.
microwave has a built-in plate, but you got a regular plate right there. I'm also showing the least scary parts of his TikToks. Some of the food he scrunches up looks like it came from a nightmare. Okay, if you don't think about what
Thank you for not showing that to me. I actually don't know if I'd have the stomach to do
these ingredients look like before, he made a slightly upgraded Lunchable pizza.
はい。
Oh, that's so tasty.
いただきます。
After doing this for some time, he's built up a cult following that's let him move into a bigger and cleaner living space. This is a literal rags and mold to riches story. How do you feel about
Molecular gastronomy.
your content now? I started TikTok at the rock bottom of my life. That time, I felt like I couldn't do anything right, like my life was just going to be a waste. But I'm glad I started my TikTok in Japan. People are warm there and they supported my content from the very beginning. Now I have more friends and I am happy in my life. Do you wish to continue making these videos? Yeah, because this is my brand now, and I like doing it, not just for the content, but because I genuinely like it. Even now when I can afford nice food, I still wish to continue eating rotten food.
I mean, like I said, mental illness is a hard fight, man. Mental illness is a hard fight.
Anyways, a comb as a spoon is wild. We have a strange fascination with observing people at their worst and then rooting for them to get better. The other content creator who I mentioned, who is also in a similar living situation as Haritsu, also has a comb. Here's her reviewing which type of flour is the best type of dry shampoo for unwashed hair.
Let's cancel!
That's so strong.
Let's cancel time! 米粉、なんかね、お米って万能なイメージがあるんだよ。串につけた。
Why can you hear like? Why can't I hear cars in the background? The face mask, dude. It's literally a ticket, chat. It's a ticket.
Huh?
I don't think I've ever used. I don't think I've ever used dry shampoo in my life. Ever.
あ、ちょっとさらってなった。すごい、このお米の力。
I will say, she's definitely a better cook compared to the previous jump scares we saw. Plus, the ingredients she uses are not moldy or scary looking. Thank God, the bare minimum. This pasta looks pretty appetizing.
You don't have long hair? I do have long hair. What do you mean? I just wash my fucking hair like a normal person.
I would eat it if it was served to me. Although, can I take my food to go? There are one too many cooks in this kitchen, and they keep coming towards my food. It's making me nervous.
今日の家夜ご飯第216円だよ。やっぱね、パスタミートソースが一番好きどす。んで、これスーパーの箸だから無用だし。いきます。
Sorry, I couldn't concentrate on my food because I had to keep an eye out for bugs wandering into the pot, which surprisingly didn't even notice the fresh food being cooked right in front of them. They went in every direction that wasn't the food. Someone said a collab with Haritsu would bring back the bubonic plague, or would it actually create super evolved white blood cells? Her
Asmongold and this chick, they would create the Black Plague. 100%.
videos are a weird combination
100%.
of calming and anxiety inducing. It's like if you took a cooking ASMR video and green screened it into a unlivable home.
ぱ200円ちょいって安い方だよね。まあでもたまには。
Look, I'm gonna give her credit where credit's due. At least she's using like ingredients, unlike that guy that would wash moldy, disgusting food. At least there's that.
2日連続。昨日とで2日連続か。で、最後に使うな、これ。もうこれでね、何作るかわかるよね。だからね、ちょっとね、フォロワー10万人いった、達成した記念に。
Look at all the bugs. I think I'm gonna be sick, bro.
カレー食べたいなぁなんて。だから、野菜が玉ねぎと人参、お肉、鶏肉、主食ご飯、唯一の調味料、カレール。10万人記念。これはね、前買ったやつなんで。
I'm assuming she's used to living like this. There's not a hint of fear in her voice. And does this pod also have bug-repelling force field properties built into it? What the heck kind of advanced products are Japanese people making? She's also gained a cult following herself, with her TikToks getting millions of views. The audience reaction, based on the comments, is usually confused, scared, worried, and fascinated, since her demeanor doesn't really match her lifestyle. I think the brand she's going for
oh my god. Ew.
or is a subculture in Japan called Jirai-kei, or landmine style, an aesthetic that combines cute feminine gothic fashion with someone who is on the verge of an emotional breakdown. Some people only wear the fashion, while others embrace the entire lifestyle. She even did her own cosplay of landmine style makeup. I think it might be a parody, but I'm not sure.
この格好で、この顔で、歩き来た。
No, this seems like a little bit of a parody. Yeah, Rashia. He has a Rashia cosplay.
After watching a bunch of her content, I'm starting to wonder if this is actually real or some kind of social experiment. I use Google Translate to read her bios and captions since it's all in Japanese, so take this broken English with a grain of salt. Concurrent viewership is #1 in Japan. The most entertaining and genius streamer in Japan. Unauthorized reproduction prohibited. Legal action taken. There are even comments questioning if she actually lives in this house. First of all, how would you even sleep? Second, do
These are the people that don't believe Asmongold is real, man. These are the same types of people that are like, Asmongold has a set behind him. And I'm like, nope. Nope, that bitch sleeps in there, man. I choose to believe it's not real. Okay, that's fair. But like, some people genuinely don't believe it. Bro, the roach is crawling on you as you sleep is so bad. I don't know. I think there's like a monkey brain like trigger where you see those kinds of things and you're supposed to be like adverse to it. Like bad smells and mold and like bad food is a trigger from our monkey ancestors eating bad food and getting sick. These people have like an actual block in their head that is like, oh, this is fine, or like I'm just gonna have to deal with it. That's why we don't eat fecal matter. Some people eat fucking shit, man. They do. But it's just like, holy moly, man. I could not.
Bugs need sleep? It's hard to say for sure if this is a cosplay of someone with a really strange lifestyle. If it is, then interesting. You definitely have people curious about the character you're playing, but if she's actually going through something, is the audience that she's building enabling her unhealthy behavior? Or is this just a simulation? Or will this be another moldy rice to riches story? All jokes aside, no one should be thinking this is a lifestyle to strive for. A little bed rotting here and there in moderation is okay, as long as you can pick yourself up afterwards. These extreme cases of gaining a following by living in a garbage house are rare instances of someone getting famous by showcasing their bizarre lifestyle, when in reality, there are a lot of people struggling like this without the money and fame. It's very fascinating.
Yeah. Asmongold said that before. He was like, you know, rich and quote-unquote famous, internet famous at least. He just lived his life like that. He didn't know any better. Yeah, there's like a big difference. I think that there's a lot of kids who grow up in like lifestyles like that where their parents like, keep going like them, and they just keep going, and that's all they know. I don't really blame them. However, I will give Asmongold a few bonus points. He does say, don't live like me. He does say that. He's like, don't live like me. Don't do it. Don't eat food like me. It's like, At least there's that. Asman started a new trend, living in a pile of garbage. No, he fucking did it, man. People have been living in their garbage for fucking millennia, man.
And I'm seated for some more plot development. Do these people end up cleaning their houses and getting their life together? Also wondering, is this the secret to turning your immune system into an impenetrable fortress? Cause how are they still out here looking normal? I'm surprised they're not turning green like a Sims or that green lady from Wicked. They must have plus 100 and poison resistance or something. Spending 5 minutes in any of these houses would have me feeling nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Hey, Pepto-Bismol! You know what else can prevent you from getting sick? The YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed the content to see more of my videos. You'll also get a +2 stat boost against germs, toxins, and the common cold. Disclaimer, percentages can vary based on individual experiences. Have a good day, try not to be dumb, and see you in the next one.
Oh, that was awesome. I totally don't want to die. That was terrible, chat! Oh, that was terrible. Check them out, clappies. Wow. Why can't they use bins or maybe even just bags? Anything to dispose of garbage. You have not lived around or been around mentally ill people. Oh, of course Asman reacted to this naturally. Of course! Of course. Of course. Ban the guy who recommended that. Emmy and Tectone went to Asman's house and they said they had breathing difficulties after they visited it, so it's definitely like an actual thing.